Hello, Fabulous Scorpio. Welcome to your horoscope for the month of March 2017, looking at life and love. I am your astrologer, Nadiya Shah. Thank you for being here. Well, this month, it really is all about the Venus retrograde. Venus is going to go retrograde right early in the month, be slowing to a stop right out of the gate, and then early in the month will go retro and go retro in a part of the sky for you that has to do with the workplace. It has to do with your coworkers, the work you're doing, the clients you have. It has to do with your daily routines as well. Now, whenever Venus goes retrograde, all of us in at least one area of life are asking ourselves, do I love it? That is the central question to a Venus retro. Do I love it, this place, this time, this situation, this person? All of this is up for consideration. And for you, a lot of this is going to play out in the realm of your workplace or the work that you do or the clients that you serve. This can be a time when you are asking yourself if you really can bring love to the work that you're doing. If you can bring an energy of service to the work that you are doing. There is a lot to be said for being able to do what you do, and it's not always about the task at hand. It's not always about what you're doing. It is about the love that you bring to it. There's a lot to be said for doing, whether it's small things, big things, great things, all things, to be able to do it with absolute love or with great love. It says a whole lot about, yes, on the one hand, character, but also about your understanding of your place there. Now, if you are somewhere, regardless of how other people may judge it or regardless of how it looks to other people, if you are somewhere where you feel love, where you feel like you can bring your love, where you feel like you are bringing love in service to others, then love is there. And it is worthy and it is good. But if you are in a space, even if it looks amazing to other people on the surface, this is going to be a really big lesson, especially for the water signs out there. Something could look just beautiful and brilliant on paper. However, is there love there for you? Do you think you should love it because of its prestige or the title or because of the income that it generates you? Or is there something else or some other environment that you think will allow you to maximize much more love, will allow you to bring more love and experience more love in the work you do, in those small moments and in those daily moments that you participate in? So sometimes it is about the work. Sometimes it's about the coworkers. Now, the good thing with having Venus retro in this part of the sign, in this part of your sky, is that your coworkers can become especially social right about now. Very friendly. Now I'll talk about that more in the love part of this horoscope, but just know that this is Venus going retro, and then Venus will go direct next month. I'll be here to talk about it then, but things will change, perceptions will change. And in some ways, it's like things may happen this month that you can't take back, and yet you have to kind of go back to the way that things were. So it can represent a major change and turning point coming up next month. However, right now, as I look at what's happening this month, there is this sense of being more willing to socialize, be more willing to bring joy and pleasure into the work environment. Just be careful. Overdoing it, very possible. With Venus retrograde, passion and the energy of passion is especially high, so it becomes hard to resist the joyous part of this energy, and there's a desire to bring that jovialness, that pleasureness into your workspace. And it could be that Venus direct that's coming up next month could be like you knowing in no uncertain terms that is over, that is not okay because you go there this month. So just be mindful. These are some ways that this energy can manifest. If you know that you work in a very conservative environment as possible, then you know that there's ways to be, and you can be open and friendly but still be conservative, so that next month you don't feel like you really overdid it in a way that you can't take back. I would also say that this is true in terms of your coworkers, and sometimes what we can't love is the people we work with. Sometimes it is that the people we work with are just difficult and we need to remember that it isn't always, yeah, okay, it's one thing if you keep running into the same kind of person everywhere you go. It's another thing if you happen to find yourself in an environment and there happens to be a situation that really is not how you want to be spending your days. This is where you're going to be able to see that a little bit more clearly and start to reflect on whether or not this work and this job and this situation is worth it to you or not, and if there's something you can do to change it or not. This part of the sky also has to do with health care, how well you take care of your health. So it's very possible that romance and crushes could bloom in doctors' offices and gyms around the world. That is possible for the Scorpios out there. How frequently do you go to these places? How likely is it you're going to run into these people again? Because Venus will go direct and feelings will change. Now, this particular Venus retro will be taking place over the course of this month, and at the end of the month, we're going to have a new moon in this part of the sky, hand in hand with Venus. And I think that this is going to be a real decisive moment. This is going to be a very like all in or out kind of moment in terms of some of the possibilities that you're entertaining that could take place over the course of the month. It is, as we get to the end of the month, where it feels like fresh perspective, fresh beginnings. And whereas normally it takes Venus going direct to get that other perspective, this may very well be the beginning. This may very well be one of those moments that makes you feel like you get what this Venus retrograde learning is meant to be for you. I would also be very careful about socializing too much with clients. Depending on what you do, how professional you need to be, some of that line can be blurred. Now, let's talk about love, okay? Because love can be a beautiful thing. But like I said, all these spaces I described, I talked mostly about socializing. So you can see how you can make the connections, how it could turn romantic. That's where I would be careful. Things can turn out to be very different once that Venus goes direct. That person who seemed like your coworker and the love of your life or your immediate supervisor and the one that you could just get swept away in and feeling all kinds of energy and passion and things, that Venus goes direct and they look very different. It's like the difference between being in the club and outside the club. I don't know how long ago you were in the club, but that is what happens. It can be stark sometimes to see the difference between people in one environment to another, depending on the lighting. While Venus goes direct, the lighting changes a lot. So keep that in mind, okay? And especially with coworkers and stuff, it can get messy. Clients as well, if you're self-employed, be very mindful about going there and getting too romantic with clients as well. Those of you in an established bond now, it could be that could be a small percentage of you out there. Even if you're in an established bond, you're looking at that coworker and maybe it doesn't go anywhere physically, but the temptation is there to sort of cross an emotional line, if you will. Again, be mindful of that. Things can look very different once that Venus goes direct. And things especially can start to look different as we get to the end of the month with that new moon. That's going to be an awareness moment. But for a few of you out there, a small percentage of you out there, it could really feel like a moment that's saying, okay, I'm going to trust this. I'm all in. I'm going in this direction. And then Venus goes direct a little bit later. And then things really look different. So just keep all this in mind. The desire for love is going to be very strong. Meditate more on what it is that you can do to know what love is going to be for you. And also, I'm very much of the belief that your feelings are wise. Doesn't mean you have to act on them. It means there's a lesson there. And if you're feeling something for someone, even if it's just emotionally, if you know you're sort of crossing a certain line, consider why. Be willing to look a little bit deeper within yourself. And that will at the very least allow you to make choices that are a little bit more conscious. And if you're making conscious choices, at least you can feel better about them. Not saying that anything's going to happen at all, but this is just one part that is worth observing if you find yourself in a certain emotional space that you know you might not be very comfortable if your partner were in that emotional space. Something to consider. I also do think with this that there is, a lot to be said for wanting your partner to be more integrated into your day, wanting to experience love in the small daily moments, wanting to do something together that affirms a sense of well-being for both of you, and also then affirms the connection. So that could also very well be possible. Bringing together love and health practices is one really good way to consider using this energy. Elsewhere in the sky, we have a full moon happening in the part of the sky for you that has to do with your friends, friendships, and groups that you belong to. This full moon is going to bring certain issues very much to the surface. For some of you out there, certain emotions and passions may come to the surface. Others of you might feel a little bit restricted, like you need to hold back, particularly if you participate within a group of any kind, if you contribute to a group. This is where you may have to practice a little bit of restraint in order to keep sort of the collective good in mind. This full moon is speaking with Saturn, and so there may be some money involved in this. So really not the time to mix friends with money. Be very mindful of that with this. If you have it to give, great. Give, you'll be happy that you did. Have that conversation as well. Be clear about that as well. If you have it to give, wonderful. If you think you're going to get it back, that's where I would ask you to be a little bit careful. And this is also where a friend could in some way cost you money as well, like an expense may come up related to a friend. Again, in light of your own circumstances, you can figure out the best decision for you. But Sky Like This says, it's better to give. It's much better to just give freely with your heart, with a spirit of generosity, knowing that energy will ensure that money is magnified for you as a result. And also have an honest conversation in the process as well. This particular full moon also is standing across from Mercury. And so I do think that the possibility of having a difficult conversation could be a part of it. It could be some overdoing or a friend related, like a friendly, fun related event that lends itself to needing to spend more money on your part for your friend, helping out your friend in a particular situation. Especially, please, I'm going to tell you this, avoid casinos just around the full moon. If you like that kind of thing, awesome. That's great. But around that full moon, I would advise you to avoid them. It's going to end up costing you a lot more than you realize. And if you're going with friends, it'll probably cost you with them too. They'll probably need some of your money as well. But you could have fun anyways. Yeah, very likely you will have a lot of fun anyways. So if you have it, enjoy it. I also think that this is particularly good as well for understanding your place within a particular group and what they're asking you, what you benefit from it or not. That can be a really good contemplation with this full moon as well, to appreciate how your connections actually do make you richer, even if sometimes you got to sacrifice for them. What I love about this month for you is the love. All of us are feeling a lot more love, and all of us are wanting more love as well and willing to put ourselves out there. For you in particular, the real key is understanding the best avenue for the expression of that love. It could very well be that you come to understand some very deep things about yourself and where you are in matters of heart without anything actually needing to happen dramatically outside of yourself. Or then again, it might be dramatic outside of yourself. But ultimately, this is a month that is part of a larger move towards greater love. And you certainly will be having that appreciation at several key moments throughout the month, and especially moving towards the end, where you feel that sense of a fresh start that is truly heart-centered. Thank you so much for watching. It's good to be back on YouTube for the monthly horoscopes. If you would like a video just like this every single week, log on to astrofabulous.com and become one of my Astrofabulous superstars. The brand new superstar community. Join, and it gives you instant access to expanded horoscopes every single week for your sign. I look forward to connecting with you as my superstar on my website, nadiyashah.com or astrofabulous.com. And of course, you being here as my fabulous friend and fan is everything. So thank you so much for that. It'll be a great month. Enjoy.